The issue of overpopulation often dominates discussions about our planet's future. We hear warnings about dwindling resources and a planet unable to sustain its growing population. However, this narrative often masks a more uncomfortable truth. The problem isn't simply how many people there are, but how much we consume. The richest 10% of the world's population are responsible for over 50% of global emissions. Meanwhile, the poorest 50% contribute a mere 10%. This stark disparity reveals the flaw in solely blaming population growth. It's not about the number of people on the planet, but about the unsustainable consumption patterns of a privileged few. While some argue for population control as a solution, this approach ignores the root cause of the problem, overconsumption. It places blame on communities with minimal environmental impact, while failing to address the excessive consumption habits of wealthier nations. It's time to shift the focus from population size to consumption patterns, demanding accountability from those who consume the most. The global elite, with their private jets, mega mansions, and insatiable appetite for luxury goods, bear a disproportionate responsibility for our planet's predicament. Their consumption habits, fueled by a culture of excess and disposability, drive resource depletion and environmental degradation at an alarming rate. Fast fashion, fueled by a desire for ever-changing trends, churns out cheap clothing at a staggering environmental cost. Mountains of discarded garments pile up, polluting waterways and releasing harmful greenhouse gases. Similarly, the tech industry, with its constant drive for the newest gadgets, generates mountains of electronic waste, often shipped to developing countries where it poses significant health and environmental hazards. This unsustainable consumption has dire consequences for our planet. From deforestation and biodiversity loss, to climate change and ocean acidification, the consequences of elite overconsumption are felt globally. It's time to challenge the narrative that more is always better and recognize the true cost of our insatiable desire for material possessions. Addressing the global consumption crisis demands a collective effort. We need to move away from the individualistic, consumer-driven culture that normalizes excess and embrace a more sustainable way of life. This means rethinking our relationship with material goods, prioritizing quality over quantity, and embracing mindful consumption habits. Supporting local businesses, reducing food waste, and opting for sustainable transportation are all tangible steps we can take to lessen our environmental impact. Embracing a circular economy, where products are designed for durability and reuse, is crucial. We need to move away from the linear model of take, make, dispose, and embrace a more regenerative approach to resource management. While individual actions are essential, systemic change is equally crucial. Governments and corporations must be held accountable for their role in perpetuating unsustainable consumption patterns. Policies that promote sustainable practices, discourage excessive consumption, and invest in renewable energy are crucial. We need a fundamental shift in our economic and social systems to prioritize ecological well-being over endless economic growth. Beyond the practical steps, addressing overconsumption requires a deeper cultural shift. We must challenge the relentless messaging that equates happiness with material possessions. True fulfillment lies not in accumulating more, but in fostering meaningful connections, pursuing our passions, and living in harmony with nature. Let's rediscover the joy of experiences over possessions, prioritize quality time with loved ones, and find fulfillment in contributing to our communities. Let's cultivate a culture of appreciation for the things we have, embracing repair and reuse over constant acquisition. The path to a sustainable future demands honesty, courage, and a shared commitment to protecting our planet. It's time to reject the allure of endless consumption and embrace a simpler, more meaningful way of life. Let's reclaim our lives from the clutches of consumerism and create a world where both people and the planet can thrive.